Alrighty, y'all, it's that time once again for everybody's favorite, as of yet untitled news roundup thingamabobber sort of thing. Why are you beefing when I where we talk about some gaming shiz? The universe is telling me to stop making this video and go back to Persona 5. That's what it's telling me. Where we talk about some gaming shiz, so yay. Now, on last week's episode, we capped things off talking about Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales and all types of jankiness that was going on behind the scenes about whether or not Marvel's Spider-Man, which of course was the 2018 PS4 game, if that version of the game would be smart delivery compatible. Will this game be standalone? And while today we don't really have any good news as far as that situation changing, we do have an update about how the overall remaster process has been for Insomniac. So talking about some of the upgrades to this version of the game in comparison to its original release on the PlayStation 4, man, Insomniac has seriously done the Lord's work when it comes down to it. It goes far beyond a simple resolution boost or doubling the frame rate. That stuff is there, but you know, taking advantage of the fact that, hey, this is a new version of the game, so we're going to come out here and release new high quality assets for the environment, for a lot of the NPC characters. They've gone back and they've really cleaned things up, so it goes far beyond just a simple bare bones next gen re-release. They are actually making this be the definitive version of everybody's favorite Spider-Man game. Insomniac has also confirmed that they are adding 3 brand new suits of the game, one of which you're checking out on screen right here, might look familiar to a lot of movie fans because this is Andrew Garfield's suit from the very first Amazing Spider-Man movie. You know, Insomniac, it's all love over there when it comes down to Spider-Man's lineage, his legacy. I mean, Spider-Man as a character has been around for 50 plus years. We're going on 60th anniversary come 2022. And just being able to play as your favorite incarnation of Spider-Man, you know, whether we're talking about just the movies, you know, Tobey, Andrew, Tom Holland, or if you're going to something like Into the Spider-Verse, which is a suit that's going to be available for Miles in that game. You know, I love how literally nobody is left out in this scenario. You know, I am that type of person where it's just like, if we are doing a game based off of a character, give me his whole lineup. Give me the entire gallery, every single obscure, every single popular costume, put it in the game, because that's what the world needs right now. More Spider-Man suits for us to unlock. And wrapping up the story with Spider-Man, unfortunately, it comes with a little bit of controversy because remember that gameplay video I was talking about where it showed Peter Parker and Otto Octavius talking? If you look closely at Peter Parker, well, in fact, you don't even have to look that close at all. You'll notice that Peter Parker's face is looking pretty different, and that is because Insomniac has changed the entire face of Peter Parker in this remastered game. I'm not talking about them going back and them touching some things up so it looks a little bit more realistic as you do with a lot of games that get like HD upgrades going from like PS2 to the PlayStation 4. No, this is a complete redesign, and Insomniac actually elaborated on this because it wasn't like nobody was going to notice. Like, it wasn't like, we're just gonna do all these things, ray tracing here, you know, no load times there, swap out the entire actor for Peter Parker, or there, oh, it's great. There you go, $20, $70 if you buy Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. Let's get it, y'all, let's get it. In a statement from Insomniac, they spoke about how them replacing the actor for Peter Parker, this is of course referring to his facial structure because as you know, the character is still voiced by the incredibly talented Yuri Lowenthal. They said that when going forward into the future, they needed a model that was more akin to Yuri Lowenthal in terms of facial structure, so it'll make things easier for the animators, mocap work, shebang bang. Now, I have no reason whatsoever in the world to disagree with Insomniac and their decision-making process, but talking as a Spider-Man fan, somebody who has been through 3 different Spider-Man actors in the span of a single decade, this shit just cuts a little too close to home. And if I am going to dial into my Spider-Man fanboy tendencies, I don't like the idea of changing the look of one particular character, an established look, something you've been working with, and then swapping it out for something that looks a little similar to what's hip and popular and hip. Of course, with time, we are going to get used to this redesign of the character. I mean, come on, if you are a gamer for shit any amount of times, if you're a Resident Evil fan, you are used to character redesign. I'm still hella conflicted, though. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's not like we're going from the PS1 to the PS5. Of course, a nigga's gonna look different. But when you're going from the PS4 to the PS5 version of a PS4 game and you swapped out his look, it's just like, that was my man's. I cried over this man's performance. Like, come on. Hashtag facial performances. You know, I didn't think this through. And something just does not sit right with me, y'all. Something just doesn't sit right with the fact that Peter now looks younger than Miles. Like, did nobody in the studio proofread this shit? Like, okay, we're gonna get a new Spider-Man actor. He's gonna look younger than the 15-year-old Miles we got right now.
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro?
Fucking genius. That's how you build a franchise. Now moving straight into the second news story today, we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X first impressions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Xbox Series X is officially out in the wild for a select group of individuals. And I'm apparently not cool enough to be on that list. So Microsoft has actually sent out Series X units to a bunch of people in the media. Now, of course, it is not final Series X hardware, but it is damn near close. I would go so far as to say 99.98% accurate. And people have gotten a chance to test out the software of the system, the new controller. Unfortunately, no next-gen games because, as y'all know, there's still a couple more weeks until launch. But the impressions we've gotten from people using the Xbox Series X is nothing short of incredible. Some of the things that people have been talking about with the Xbox Series X is just how much of a beast it is by comparison to the One X. Now, that should be no shock to anybody, especially as you go into a new generation of consoles. Like, I remember going from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4 and going like, God damn, I can finally load a message in less than 2 seconds. So it should be no shock and surprise here, but it is incredible to hear a lot of people say how buttery smooth the interface is, how, you know, coming from the Xbox One X and going to the Series X makes the One X look like you're just walking through quicksand. Like, these are really, really good quality of life updates that you'll love to see. And talking about backwards compatibility for a second, man, the performance boost we're seeing in a lot of these games is just astonishing. Basically, every single game, for the most part, that was running on the Xbox One that had maybe a dynamic resolution, uncapped frame rates, we're seeing those hit close to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second. Of course, it's not universal across the board because this is just the system boosting the game as opposed to, you know, a developer going back in and actually patching the game itself to take advantage of all this extra horsepower. But just raw brute forcing it, the performance we're seeing is actually really freaking good. And it just gets me really excited for the future because we know Microsoft is all in for this whole backwards compatibility thing. You know, granted, it's not going to be every single game under the sun they're going to bring over, you know, because licensing issues are a pain. But if for some of those games that do exist that we know are not going to get next gen remasters, if they can go back and they can patch it so we can have next gen light features such as, you know, Bloodborne running at like 60 frames, that seems to be the dream for everybody. If we can get that as a patch, oh, I'm definitely down for it. But I cannot ignore the elephant in the room. While it is great to see the Xbox Series X is performing well as a games console, I'm still scratching my head as to why we are less than 2 months out from the launch of the world's most powerful system, and we have yet to see any concrete, tangible gameplay running on the system itself, because everything we've seen up to now has either been PC footage or games running on similar specs to the Series X. If the Series X was just such this beast, this behemoth of a machine as Microsoft pimps it out, wouldn't you think that they would be more upfront with actually showing us games that are running on the hardware? I'm not talking about something that is just souped up to look pretty. I'm talking about that native, next-gen, full-fat experience you can't get on the One X. But then I remember it's 2020 and anything is possible at this rate. Heck, I could record this video right now, render it, upload it, and then the second I do that, boom, here's 20 unaltered minutes of this game running on the Series X, because that's just the life of a YouTuber. And wrapping up the stories for today, we've got a little bit of an update on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as many of y'all know, Smash Bros. Ultimate is just the game that keeps on giving in all the best ways and unfortunately the worst ways possible, considering it's like nobody's happy. Nobody is ever going to be happy with this game, and I just, for the life of me, don't understand why. Because I think it's a dope game. As many of y'all know, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has received a second wave of DLC fighters, and it's always a case of Russian roulette. You know, who's gonna make it into the game? Who's not gonna make it into the game? People having so much fun theorizing and speculating at the same time. They have so much fun tearing each other apart over this person's theory and speculation versus that person's theory and speculation. Basically, you can't be happy if I'm not happy, and if I'm not happy, nobody is happy. But the latest DLC fighter was revealed today, and it's actually a very big surprise because it is Steve from Minecraft. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the next Super Smash Bros. DLC crossover fighter is the Minecraft dude, which I gotta say is pretty freaking sweet. Now, I make no claims whatsoever to be some type of a pro Smash Bros gamer. I'm totally MLG. You know, I go to the circuit scene and the tournaments and all that nonsense. No, I don't do that shit. For me, Smash Brothers is a party game, and just looking at the roster of characters that is available, I think they've done a really good job thus far. Now, is there room for improvement? Could we see a little bit more diversity in the roster? Do we really need more Fire Emblem characters? No, we don't need more Fire Emblem characters, but coming from a person who went so many years with this franchise being on the brink of death, I welcome it. I understand where people are coming from. Your favorite character didn't get into the game. I know a lot of people were gunning for Travis Touchdown to be in Smash Brothers, Dante to be in Smash Brothers, heck, Doom Guy, Master Chief. You know, the sky is the limit. So for people to see Steve from Minecraft come in here, I just gotta scratch my head and wonder. I mean, yes, I understand your favorite character did make into the game, but when you look at the popularity of Minecraft, and no, I'm not making this out to be a whole, well, you gotta think about what's best for the brand. What is best for the brand? Well, it would have been indeed awesome to see some characters like Dante or heck, even Goku show up in Smash Brothers. I'm not gonna sit here, pitch a fit, bitch, whine, moan, and complain that the Minecraft dude is in the game. Why? Because this is a game with Mario and Banjo-Kazooie and Sonic and Cloud and the guy from a franchise that Konami doesn't even acknowledge exists anymore. Like, come on now, is this really that out of place? Honestly, I just think it's the Smash Brothers community acting like the Smash Brothers community. Nobody is ever going to be happy, and if we are happy, we're not as happy as we ever could have been. But they're still going to buy the character pass anyway. So I guess that old saying is indeed true.
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro?
And that's all I got for y'all today, ladies and gentlemen. Post your comments down below and talk about any of the topics we discussed, whether it's the Spider-Man PS4 facial controversy, Xbox Series X first impressions by the media, or Steve being in Minecraft. Do you think this is a good inclusion? What other rep would you have liked to see in the game? Comment down below and let me know. And from me to you for now, my name is NGS, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.